Yo, what's good people, it's Cactus, and man, over the weekend we just hit 20k subscribers, which, yo, it's insane, man. I can't even explain how excited I was feeling and how much I really appreciate everyone that's supporting the channel. So shout out to everyone that subscribed, everyone that's shown love in the past by even watching the videos, liking it, grabbing a kit, even if it's one of the free kits. I appreciate you all. So of course I'm going to be giving back to everyone, and I'm going to be announcing a big giveaway real soon, so keep a lookout for that. But yo, in today's video, I'm going back to drill, but I'm going to try and make this one a little bit different. I want to come up with a real simple and catchy melody and just see where it takes me. So let's get into it. Alright, so I've already thought of a melody. It was just something that I was practicing on my piano earlier. And when you're making melodies yourself, try not to overthink it. You don't have to make them too complicated. So for this one, all I was doing was starting on D and then going like this. Notice how it keeps on coming back to D. So just a real simple melody, but that's going to give me the foundation for the beat. So I'm actually going to record this in. Just hitting Control and Q to quantize, and now I'm going to do the velocity a bit less random. So I'm going to hold Shift, click and drag so they're all the same, and then Alt and R. I just want to adjust them down a little bit. Yeah, there we go. And now to make the sound a little bit thicker, all I'm going to do is press Control and A to highlight everything, Shift and click on one of the notes. That's going to copy them all, and then Control and down. So it's the same notes, but I've just doubled them up just to thicken the sound a little. And then when you've got a simple melody, you can start thinking about the chords that go underneath it. And to be honest, there aren't really any rules to this. You just want to try different chords and see what fits right underneath the melody. Just because I'm starting the melody with D, it doesn't mean that I have to use a D minor chord, but we can experiment. So the scale that I'm working in is actually D minor, but let's just see what it would sound like. That's a D minor chord. So that sounds good. It might sound better without the F. Or I could just double up the D. So I'm not really playing a chord, I'm just playing D. So I kind of like them quick notes. I'm actually going to make these notes shorter as well. I'm just going to drag them back. I just want them to be a quick pluck. So I like how the first one hits, but now I'm just thinking of some kind of bass pattern in my head. I don't want it to be too complex. I don't want the notes to be long. I just want it to be short and plucky to go along with the melody. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, something as simple as that. So let's work out where the notes go. It's probably on A again. Yeah, and then down to A. Yeah. See what I'm saying? Just real simple, but it's going to be effective. There we go. And then I've just copied it across. You can use Control and B for that, or you can Shift, click and drag it over. But to get it sounding like this, I just switched up these end parts here just to add a tiny bit of variation. So already I've got a real simple but real catchy melody. So now what I'm thinking is that first melody, I'll probably cut out some highs and save room for this second one. So now I'm using swirling addictive bells, another plucking omnisphere, but this is going to cover the high frequency range. And I just want a real simple pattern on top of this. So I can just play the melody and see what I can come up with. Yeah, I think I want something as simple as that, but I'll record it in. Again, I can press Control and Q just to quantize that, level them out a little bit more. Alt and R just to do a little bit of randomization. And see how simple this melody is too. It's not jumping around too much. It's pretty much two notes, apart from these. And then for the snare, I'm going to have it like a standard pattern, but I'll probably delay one of them just to get more of a bounce. And with that counter melody, if you listen in headphones, you can hear that it's already panned to the left. So I could go back into Omnisphere and just adjust the panning. You might like it in the left, but I wanted this effect where it's going to shimmer between the left and right ear. So all I did was use Fruity Balance just to get the balance right again. Filtered it out a bit just to get a different sound. And then I used Pan Man to get this shimmer effect. So this is without. And this is with. But then with the other melody, I feel like that just sits nicer. And then with the hi-hats, I wanted something fast-paced, so I started with a simple drill bounce like I show you in all of my videos, so that's why I've skipped it in this one, and then I came up with this. So you can see I've just dropped some of the notes down in velocity. So for the 808, I want to go a bit crazy in the beginning and then ease it out towards the end. So I've already got some kind of melody in my head. So I need to work out where the notes go. So 2 here, another 2 here. So 3 here. But kind of like the bass notes in the melody, I'm going to drop these down and these. And then work out where the slides go. So I can start by trying it an octave up. Just click this to activate slide. I'm going to bring it back, make it a quick slide. I'm actually going to change the snap to grid to quarter step just so I can make it slide up quicker. So it needs to come up higher. And it usually sounds good when there's a half step. So just these 2 ones here. Let's try this. Yeah, that sounds cool. Let's try it even further up. Yeah, I like that one. I think it's E. And then it can come down. Nah. Yeah, that's the one. And then repeat that. Oh, this is sounding hard. And then back to D. I want it something like. So 2 here. And these shortcuts that I'm pressing, C is the slice tool. So if you press C and then hold shift and click down, you can chop in a straight line. Whereas if I didn't hold shift, it's gonna be at an angle. And then I always hit P on the keyboard just to go back to the draw tool. They're like my 2 main shortcuts that I use when I'm making 808s. And then S is to activate slide notes. Maybe higher. Yeah, and I might try to delay this one a little bit. So it's gonna go higher. There we go. And then 1 more maybe here. Down 1. Yeah, that's the one. And then I just need to think of something a little bit different for the second 4 bars. All right, so here's what I came up with. Kept it simple here. And then for the kick, I've literally just copied that pattern, pasted it into the kick pattern, and then removed some of the notes. And now I've got this. Now that 808 is just hitting hard. And then after I've got my main melodies and drums, I can start thinking about some perks. So I'm just going to use this drill perk. Maybe here. And now with this second drill perk, I just pitched it down to F sharp. It sounded a little bit better darker. And I used the first ones just to kind of beef up the kick, and the second ones just to fill in more gaps. It just needs leveling out. And then with drill beats, I always like to add some kind of reverse effect. You don't always have to do it, but I use them in a lot of my beats. So I'll try and reverse open hats, transitions, even snares sometimes, and just see what I can come up with. But this one's just a reverse perk, and I've set it to play only for one beat. That one especially, because it reverses into the snare and then that snare just hits harder. And then for this last perk, this is going to act a bit like a crash, but I've used Echo Boy to get an interesting delay. So I just adjusted the echo time, set the style to AM radio, and then I got this. So there's a distorted sound in the echoed perks. And then I just want this vocal in here, just on C. But I definitely need some effects on that one. So to get that vocal sounding real interesting, I've used Little Alter Boy just to change the format, and then I filtered it out with an EQ, used some reverb and then delay as well. Now it's sounding like this. So it sounds completely different. And then before I start arranging everything and putting in different effects, I'm thinking I want one more instrument. I just want some kind of brass hit to play at the beginning. So I'm thinking it makes sense to play it on D, but I'm going to copy it and bring it down an octave. Yeah, that's the one I was looking for. But together, this is going to sound mad. See how high that drop will hit now? So that's pretty much it for the instruments and drums, but I know I'm going to want to add more effects and different automations. So I'm going to start mixing it. I'll arrange everything and then show you the outcome. All right, so I've mixed and arranged everything, and yo, this beat turned out crazy, man. The energy in this one is just different, but I'll play it through and then talk you through what I've done.
Cactus.
Yo, that drop's just different. Let me show you what I did for this drop. You can see that halftime's automated, so halftime's gradually coming in here. That's just creating a subtle underlayer. But then with delay 3, I've automated this to create some kind of riser. So these are the settings that I used. I just put the level up real high, and then I'm automating the wet and dry level. So you'll see what's happening as this curve just steeps up. And then just as it gets about too much, I've used tape stop plugin just to get that vinyl cut.
Cactus.
So that just sounds mad. It's just a creative way to, instead of using a riser or looking for the right sound, you can just make your own.
Cactus.
So I've kept the 8-weight pattern kind of simple for the first bit, and saved the count melody for the second part of the hook. That's when the full 8-weight pattern plays. And then everything kind of slows down. So when the verse drops, I'm just playing that first melody that I thought of, but in 2 octaves. I'm not using the bass notes in this one. And then I've just chopped up the kick and 8-weight patterns and took out a lot of the perks. But then I've left that reverse perk in here just to ride into the first snare. And then I've brought a few things back in here along with the horn. And then the vocals actually need to come back into the hook. Some counter melodies here. And then halftime comes in for the bridge. And then it's gradually coming off, but the delay effect's happening.
Cactus.
This beat's cold, man. And then that second part of the hook just repeats. And then with the second verse, I think I just repeated it. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. So I hope you liked the video and I hope you were feeling the beat. This one came out mad and I didn't have to use any complex chord progressions. I just picked a real simple melody and then built around that. So try not to overthink your melodies. Sometimes the most simple ones are the most fire. The ones that people remember, they're always the most catchy ones. So just experiment. Even if you've got a basic melody, sometimes you can take that and flip it into something crazy. But thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.